Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all really doing absolutely fantastic with all the interesting stuff happening in the world right now. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. Very big thank you to everyone out there who leaves a comment letting me know what you're buying, what you're doing, how you are, what cryptocurrencies are going to the literal moon over the course of the next potentially forever. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. I am desperate. I am going to be as brutally honest with you as I possibly can. I am desperate to know what is actually going on, what is going on with money, where everyone's getting these expectations from, why all of a sudden. And I know we've had a course of good luck. Got it. However, what has happened that has made every institution completely shift rapidly into buying large amounts of crypto and then seemingly announcing that cycles are definitely over? If you, for some reason, missed this miraculous news, companies are announced. I mean, it's across the board. This isn't like it would have been one thing if we heard this one time in April and then once in June. Oh, that's weird that they would think that. Everyone believes that for some reason, cycles are now broken, which would mean, in the simplest of terms, that in December, people would expect prices to begin falling at the end of the bull market. However, with the cycle being broken, that would basically mean that the market wouldn't go down and would only, in perpetuity, forever, continue to actually go up. That's the bulk of what we've been getting for the last couple of months. And I know that the dollar may be faltering. Maybe it has to do with a lot of the companies we've been hearing about, or maybe the new economic policies. But what would you do if the market doesn't go down? We're all, I'm here as well. I expect that cycles might not be the same as they were before, but I'm more or less expecting prices to drop at some point. That's how it's always been. What happens if they don't drop? What are you going to do if by the middle of 2027 Bitcoin's at 418,000? It has days where it falls by 1 or 2%, but that falling is quickly swept away. I'm not really understanding how everyone has kind of completely mentally flipped over to this. There's an analytical company called Bernstein. It depends on where you put the emphasis on the syllable. Bernstein analysts said that they expect the crypto rally to extend for several more years. Did you hear what I said? Yes, okay. Forecasting what they describe as a long crypto bull market, continuing the surge into 2026 and potentially peaking in 2027. We just had news from another analytical big name money company this was 10 days ago, who said something similar, but their charts showed prices rising until 2028, at which point we would have another halving, which would then be the catalyst for another huge amount of growth in prices. Every company's saying the exact same thing. We have gotten more or less used to, it's kind of like, when you go to sleep, you're going to wake up. When you wake up, you get ready, you take a shower, you head on out, you go about your day, you get hungry, you eat food. Imagine instead of going to, I don't know, what am I trying to say? This would completely change the entirety of market dynamics 100%. Remember I said this was a couple weeks ago. I said, if we get to March, April, May, June of 2026 and prices are still going up, that's going to, we won't know what to do. We literally won't know how to handle it. What does that mean? Do I buy more? Am I buying enough? If the cycle's broken and prices keep going up, by the time we get to 2027, have prices gone up by another 80, 90, 120%? Should I be buying more of that? These companies who keep announcing, we're buying the X amount of crypto. What are they going to do? Imagine their reaction. They were buying over the course of this year with the expectation of, prices eventually rising. Remember earlier this year, we had a lot of we're excited for a bull run in 2029. By 2031, Bitcoin's going to be 1.5 million. What happens if that this is actually nuts. The team, led by someone called Gautam Chugani, noted that earlier expectations were for Bitcoin to top out in 2025 or early 2026. We saw in 2017, I believe it was the beginning of January 2018, prices were still up and then they fell. So usually, early. But apparently, policy support under Trump has extended the cycle. This would make sense, but I think, sorry for screaming. I'm very hyped up right now. For me, I need to see it in action, not policy, what have you, but if everyone's screaming at the top of their lungs, we're going to 100,000, I need to see $100,000. If everyone's screaming XRP's going to $12, I need to see it. In my mind, I know it's going there, but it's when? When are you when is this going to take place? Every single company is now talking about the market cycle not ending. What happens if we have a dip in December? A 12% dip in prices. And by the time we get to February, prices have risen 24% higher from where they were. And we're sitting there what's happening to the market? We now have, if you missed the other video, almost 300 companies who have announced that they're all publicly buying Bitcoin. I think that's going to be almost 400 to 450 relatively soon. The world is changing, but I think mentally for me, I need to see the literal change to kind of course, make it real. That would then make it, it's hard to explain. If everyone's talking about cycles are over, bull market extending, 2026, 2027, 2028, I think I need to visually see it to be everything has completely changed. Something feels different. This market does not feel the same as it did years ago. For those of you who've been with me all this time, hello. It feels like something's different. You can feel it as well. I want to see the difference to kind of really go, okay, all these analysts knew exactly what they were talking about. Let's mega lock in. Not even like a little bit, like let's do the thing. He said, we believe we are in the middle of a digital assets revolution. Backed by regulatory reform, they wrote in a Tuesday note. Bitcoin is now seen reaching a cycle peak of 200,000 within the next 6 to 12 months, with inflows broadening into Ethereum, Solana, and other leading tokens. They then go to talk about whatchamajaggers. Other like crypto-related stocks and other things like that, which are also still very popular in many ways within the space. No, like this is actually quite heavy to constantly hear stuff like this over and over. We might be in the midst of experiencing a completely new market, one that we've never known before. It would, last thought, it would make sense if everyone, how does Bitcoin get to 1 million in 2029 if it's not continuously moving up? If Bitcoin dipped and then we had to wait till 2028, 2029 to move back up, that'd be a pretty insane move all at once. Everyone's talking about a $50,000, $100,000 Ether by 2029. How do we get there? Unless prices continuously move up. I think it's going to be a very weird winter. Really. I think we're going to see one of two things are going to happen. We're either going to see the market completely, 10, 15, 20x. Everyone will make egregious amounts of money. We'll all have a wonderful holiday season. Or prices will rise really high. We won't know what to do. We'll get to next summer and we're like, oh, prices rose again. All right, let me put another $50 into the market because, it's probably going to continue forever. Like there's only two directions. We either do what we've always done or we are at the beginning of a really, 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 really long bull run. Yeah, one of the two is going to happen, guys. Okie dokie. That's the 15th analytical forecast that this might be an extended bull run. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, wealth management firm called Coro, Choreo, disclosed that they have invested approximately $6.5 million US across various spot Bitcoin ETFs. Per official details, the firm manages over, The firm manages over $27 billion in total assets. According to a new filing with the U.S. SEC, Coro LLC now holds stakes in multiple Bitcoin ETFs, with their largest position in the BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF. They have 51,000 shares of that fund. Yes, you guys know the deal. These companies are coming out of nowhere, constantly announcing the amount of Bitcoin they have, what they're buying, what they're getting into. Maybe it's not just a trend. Maybe this just is the new way of life. And these are simply the companies that are going to go down in history as think about it. Imagine being one of the first 500 companies who bought Apple stock or bought Nvidia, these kinds of things. So yeah, I'm not going to root for them. I'm not going to say this is good because I want normal people to have the crypto, but companies constantly buying will move up prices. I just hope that you're also holding the asset that will move up in prices. That's how it works. That's the Coro LLC news. Moving along. Also in the news, if I could find the words, there we go. A Taiwan-listed public company called WiseLink has stepped into, can you guess what? Yeah, Bitcoin treasury financing, leading a $10 million raise for Top-Wen International Sora. Okay, a Hong Kong-based luxury watch trader and retailer now expanding into digital assets. Don't forget this ever. These companies who are announcing that they're now accepting crypto payments, they're doing it because they want your crypto. I know, weird, right? Yeah. We had this a couple of years ago. Now we're getting a little bit more news in this direction. The companies around the world are realizing that they themselves also need more crypto. A really easy way to get more crypto is to sell a scarf or sell some shoes or whatever the case might be for crypto, so that the company acquires crypto. You get your little shoes. In 5 years, you need a new pair of shoes. And then you hear that that company, they made a good 15, 20x on their investments. So just remember that these are companies who are trying to make money and they want your money. The parties say their move marks the first time a Taiwan-listed firm has backed a Bitcoin treasury company. Citing global monetary easing, we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a gosh darn thing. As far as like money printing, things are expected to get much, much worse. They were looking for something, they say, decentralized, scarce, and inflation resistant, with Bitcoin as the most mature and widely accepted among them. So, yeah, another new company. You should all be used to this at this point. I know I most certainly am, because the news is still weird. Don't get me wrong that all these companies are buying up huge amounts of Bitcoin, but at the same time, it just seems completely commonplace that we're having all of this happening at the exact same time. So it will be a very fascinating next decade if we do see Bitcoin and crypto actually taking over. I mean, complete takeover of the financial world. Those holding the crypto will, of course, benefit the most. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video, everyone. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Let's see if prices just keep on rising. That would be a bit of a shock to the system, but also like, okay, we definitely made it. So thank you all once again, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.